Hi, this is Max Williams with United Real Estate, and today I'm in Prince George County. More specifically, I'm in Disputana, and we have 5 acres, 5 wooded acres here on Tavern Road, and it is available for a home site. Someone could clear this land and, of course, build their own home. You can design it from the ground up and get exactly what you want. If you don't see what you're looking for in the marketplace, this is a great way to get exactly what you want. One of the first considerations when thinking about building your own home is, where do you start? The first place to start would be to contact a good, experienced agent. They can in turn put you in touch with a team of people that are professionals in the business and can work with you to make that dream a reality. There are a couple of considerations when looking at land to purchase for a home, and one of those is a perk test. A perk test basically means the soil quality is or is not good enough for what we call a conventional system. The other type of system is an alternative system, which is a more expensive system, but will work in the same manner for septic purposes where city or county sewer is not available. This home is rated for a conventional system. We do have the test for that's already been done, and someone could take that accordingly and go ahead and start the process of building their own home. One of the first steps in buying a home, or any real estate for that matter, is to get in touch with a good qualified lender that's able to do the type of financing that you need to do, that's going to give you great service and great terms. There are dirty secrets in any industry, and real estate is just one of many. Those of you that are familiar with stand-up comedy know that Cat Williams recently exposed some of the secrets in his industry, and some of those secrets were gossipy, and some of them had to do with business practices in his line of work. One of the things that is important to remember is that we have secrets too in real estate and real estate lending. We lump all of that into housing, insurance, real estate, and financing all come under the same umbrella, because for most people you need to have all 3 of those in order to make a real estate purchase. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to put a recent clip in from CNN, and this clip is definitely informative and disturbing at the same time. Take a listen.
Now for exclusive CNN reporting about the nation's largest credit union, the Navy Federal Credit Union. CNN analysis found that it had the widest disparity in conventional mortgage approval rates between white and black borrowers. CNN's Renee Marsh has more.
But it really is a nice neighborhood, you know.
Baba Tandi, a Kenyan immigrant turned Texas entrepreneur, knew this was his dream home the moment he saw it. It's in a highly sought-after school district that his son so desperately wanted to attend for its basketball program.
So how many homes did you look at before you found this one and said this was it?
We had about 6, but this was the one that we all wanted, and we were all praying to get this one.
Otandi's first choice for his mortgage was Navy Federal Credit Union. It services military members, defense personnel, veterans, and their families, and is the largest credit union in the country. I
was the CEO of my company, so I had a pretty good income.
Your credit was in the 700s. Mm-hmm. You'd recently sold your house. Mm-hmm. You had $100,000 for the down payment, which was more than 20%.
Correct. I mean, what more could you ask for?
CNN reviewed Otandi's financial documents. He even had a pre-approval letter from Navy Federal in hand. But just 2 weeks before closing,
I got a denial. They sent me a letter saying, "We're sorry, but your application has been denied."
Were you stunned, surprised?
I mean, I was stunned. I was shocked. I was hurt.
The denial letter listed excessive obligations in relation to income as the reason.
When they denied is when we came back and said, oh man, there's something else going on.
And what did you think that something else was?
Discrimination.
But it wasn't just Atandi. Thousands of other black applicants were also rejected. According to a CNN analysis of federal consumer protection data, last year, Navy Federal Credit Union only approved 48%. That's less than half of its black applicants for conventional home mortgages. White borrowers were approved more than 75% of the time. It's the biggest gap among the top 50 lenders. The data also shows Navy Federal was more than twice as likely to deny black mortgage applicants than white ones, even when different variables, including income, debt, property value, and down payment percentage, were the same.
I feel validated at one point, but also I feel a bit of anger because it shouldn't be happening.
2 weeks after Navy Federal rejected him, another bank approved Atandi for a mortgage. Navy Federal Credit Union denied CNN's request for an on-camera interview. In a statement, it said it is committed to equal and equitable lending practices and that CNN's recent analysis does not account for major criteria required by any financial institution to approve a mortgage loan. That includes credit scores, which are not public. Navy Federal declined to provide additional data. We asked Navy Federal why Bob Otandi's loan was denied, but they declined to comment, citing member privacy. CNN's analysis does not prove discrimination, but it does show dramatic racial disparities in who Navy Federal rejects and approves for conventional mortgage loans.
The black-white homeownership gap and the Latino-white homeownership gap today are both wider than they were in 1968 when we passed the Federal Fair Housing Act.
Lisa Rice has spent decades as a fair housing advocate. She says the disparities in Navy Federal's lending data are alarming and an extreme example of a bigger problem.
It's definitely a larger systemic issue. And we know that we have a long history of redlining and a long history of lending discrimination in this nation. Well, all of that data that is sort of tainted with bias is being used to develop the credit scoring systems.
We got the house, thank God, and we moved on. But what about the ones who are denied? What about the ones who now can't get their own dream house? It's something that's going to affect the generation all the way down to their kids.
And Renee Marsh joins us now. Renee, great reporting. What does our analysis say about the effect of discrimination here?
I mean, what we know is that the data suggests that there is just this dramatic disparity, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau oversees consumer lending. We reached out to them. They told CNN that it doesn't comment on specific institutions, but that they do conduct investigations to ensure that banks and credit unions are following fair lending practices. But Abby, anyone who thinks that they may have been denied a mortgage because of their race or ethnicity, they should in fact, file a complaint with their local Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Abby?
Thank you so much for bringing that to us, Renee.
Unfortunately, it's very likely that there's someone that applied with Navy Federal here recently, right here in this community, that was turned down, and they otherwise would have been approved by another institution. And that's a disgrace. That's sad and a disgrace for the following reason. The home, or the equity in a home, is one of the biggest assets that most people will ever have. And there are generations that actually pass down real estate from generation to generation. Many parents want to leave a legacy, and that legacy could be a home. It could be a significant amount of equity in a home. And that individual that was unjustly turned down may not ever get that, because life happens and they may not ever apply again. And that's just so sad when it was something other than their actual qualifications that meant they got denied for the mortgage. This is something that has gotten national attention already. It's only been a few weeks since this clip came out, but there's already a class action lawsuit in place. Most likely, there will be agencies at the federal government that will be looking into it, and hopefully there'll also be local institutions, nonprofits, that'll be looking into the numbers, and the numbers just simply don't lie. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, chances are it's not an alligator. This is something that I'm glad was brought to the forefront. It makes me sad that I'm even having to report this, to share this with you, but it's alive and real here, right here in Richmond, Virginia. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that right now there is money available for BIPOC individuals. If you don't know if you're BIPOC or not, please research it, BIPOC. For individuals that are in that category, you are eligible for special money. And this special money is a result of yet another institution that was called to the carpet on their lack of equity when it comes to their lending practices. And they said, yeah, you guys are kind of right. We have been falling down on making our numbers equitable. And what we'll do is we'll cut a 7-figure check. And that 7-figure check will go to help the population that we have possibly discriminated against. And I say possibly because one of the things they hate to do is admit what the numbers prove, but this is an easy, quick way for them to get out of an uncomfortable situation. This is uncomfortable for a lot of people to talk about. It is uncomfortable, but it's real. And if we don't talk about it, then it just doesn't go away on its own, ladies and gentlemen. So it's important to talk about it. This is something that is still plaguing this country today, and the numbers show it. It's something that's very hard to prove because you have to have the access to the statistical data and the resources. It's not something an individual can really do. But once those disparities are discovered, boy, oh boy, it can be shocking to the person that's not in the industry, doesn't understand, or doesn't care. There's some people that could care less. If it doesn't impact them, they don't care. I'm not that person, and I'm not going to let anything happen to people that work with me that's unjust. It just is not right, and I won't stand for it. Wow, that was a lot. I hate to have to bring this type of video to you, but it's a reality, and talking about it is the only way the word gets out. If you do business with this institution, if you are a Navy Federal consumer, the word to the wise, take your business elsewhere if you are looking for a mortgage. If you know people that do business with them, share this with them. They need to know, because if they go and are denied unjustly, then you didn't do what you were supposed to do as a friend or an associate or a colleague. So this is the only way things change, is when people react and vote with their dollars. Dollars matter. Even if skin color is a factor, they will feel it. So you've got to act accordingly. Take your business where you're appreciated and where you'll be treated fairly. Wow, that was a mouthful. I really hope that this message resonates with you, that you kind of understand where I'm coming from. I'd love to hear your feedback, your comments, of course, as usual. So make sure you drop a comment down below. Thank you so much for giving me your attention, and I appreciate you. Wish you all the best. Have a great day.